A very good evening to students. I am Jyoti, Biology faculty from the Toppers Academy. I think all the students are preparing for NEET and targeting 2023. For that, today I will start the chapter of the biology, and the name of that chapter is Excretory products and their elimination. As you all know, this chapter is from the human physiology. So let's start the chapter. First of all, we all know inside our body there are different types of excretory products. That is ammonia, urea and uric acid. Name of the chapter is Excretory products and their elimination. So, inside our body there are different metabolic pathways. In these metabolic pathways there are different reactions are involved, and from these reactions metabolic waste come out. So for example, take the reaction of respiratory system. Inside that, glucose in the presence of oxygen produce CO2 and water. See this? C6H12O6. In the presence of oxygen, it will produce CO2 and water and some energy. Both these are respiratory waste. You can say that in this reaction both act like a waste. Second, you can take the example when glucose in the absence of oxygen produces lactic acid. So in this reaction lactic acid is a waste. Like this, in our body different excretory products release out like CO2, water and this lactic acid. Same here, ammonia, urea and uric acids removed from our body. How this ammonia will be released? As we all know, we are taking proteins in our daily life. If we are taking proteins in a normal amount, then this protein breakdown will take place and amino acid will produce. These amino acids will be absorbed, reabsorbed in our body through the blood. After that, in some cases, if we take proteins in excess amount and we are not taking any carbohydrate, at that time the protein breakdown will take place on by different processes like deamination or this ornithine cycle. In case of deamination, this proteins, amino acids will break down into alpha and keto group and ammonia will release. So here also ammonia is a excretory waste product. So in the same case, when the two ammonia and one ketone body reacts in the ornithine cycle, in that case urea will be the excretory product. So here we have this ammonia, urea and uric acids as excretory products. As this chapter is starting from the excretory products and their elimination. So how the different animals excrete different type of waste from their body by the different processes. So the animals which release ammonia as a excretory waste are known as ammonotelic. And the animals which release urea as a nitrogenous waste, these are known as ureotelic. And next is uric acid. The animals which release this uric acid are known as uricotelic. As we all know, as the evolution trends goes on, earlier there is a huge amount of water. At that time the animals excrete ammonia because ammonia releases large amount of water for its excretion. So the examples of animals which release ammonia at that time are that aquatic insects, aquatic amphibians, and next ureotelic. In this ureotelic, it is not so much toxic, so for its removal from the body, the animals required less amount of water. So the animals which release this urea are examples: the terrestrial amphibians, and this if we take the case of fishes, the bony fishes are the examples of ammonotelic, and cartilaginous fishes are the example of ureotelic. And the next third one is uricotelic animals. The animals which release uric acid from their body are known as uricotelic. Here in case of the example of insects or birds. Next part, different from porifera to coelenterata and to ctenophora. These animals do not have any excretory organ. The excretory organ was not developed in these lower organisms, but from this platyhelminthes to vertebrata, different excretory organs were developed. So let's take example of platyhelminthes. In platyhelminthes, flame cells are as a excretory organ. Likewise, nephridia in case of earthworms. Next, green glands in case of crustaceans like prawns, and last, in vertebrates we have kidney. So let's see this structure of human kidney. As we all know, a pair of kidneys present in case of humans. The position of the kidney is between the first and second rib, 11th and 12th ribs, or you can say that it is present between the last thoracic and third lumbar vertebrae. Kidney have divided into three parts. Outer, this is outer cortex, this inner medulla, and middle one is pelvis. Kidney is surrounded by a fibrous layer and it is known as capsule. Inside the kidney, the deoxygenated blood goes to the heart through this inferior vena cava, and the oxygenated blood will come from the aorta. See this. First of all, we have to see the structure of this kidney. You have seen this cortex part. Second is medulla. This is this part is medulla. And middle one is pelvis. So kidney have divided into three parts: outer cortex, inner medulla, and middle one is pelvis. and kidney is covered by a fibrous layer which is known as renal capsule. Inside the kidney, medulla part divided into different medullary pyramids. In one kidney, 8 to 12 medullary pyramids are present. First, here is a question. Name the part of cortex which is present inside the medulla. This part. See this. Here question arises. Name the part of cortex present in medulla, and the name of that part is cortex of Bertini. Sorry, renal Bertini. And the name of that part is renal Bertini. Renal Bertini. It is very important. So next, take this one renal pyramid. This is the structure of renal pyramid. This is the opening of renal pyramid. Now see how the nephron present inside the kidney. This is the structure of nephron. It starts from the glomerulus and elongate to form PCT. Then PCT further elongates to form collecting duct. This is loop of Henle. Loop of Henle opens into DCT, and this DCT will open into this collecting duct. See this. This is the renal pyramid, and this collecting duct will open here. The opening of this renal medullary pyramid is renal papilla. And this collecting duct opened into a duct which is known as duct of Bellini. Now see this collecting duct will join to form a structure, and name of that tube is minor calyx. Further, minor calyx join with 2 or 3 minor calyxes to form major calyx, and then this major calyx will further join to form pelvis. So this is the pelvis. Now see this. From pelvis our from blood. This is the afferent arteriole and this is efferent arteriole. You all know blood will come from this afferent arteriole and from here filtration of blood will start. The blood comes from this side, from the loop of Henle, it will goes to the collecting duct and then after that this blood will filter and goes into pelvis. From the pelvis it will goes to the ureter. From the ureter it will goes to urinary bladder and finally it will goes to the urethra. So this is the sequence of the filtration of blood from the nephron to the urethra. So let's see. Here is one more question will be there. There is an opening inside the kidney from where this renal artery, renal vein and ureter coming outside. These three are there and name of that opening is hilum. So I think you all understand this sequence of the filtration of the blood from the nephron to the urethra.